Okay. I almost died today.
Oh, great. One of those.
Ooh, tell us.
I mean, it's not that cool as much as I just choked on a pork chop.
Oh, death by food again.
Yeah, you know me. I'd say like once a year, I almost die from choking.
That would be a Cody. Yeah. Food has almost killed you multiple times.
Oh, there are no numbers.
That was going to be my question, is how many times have you choked on food in your life? Do you feel confident that if you were to like choke, you could like give yourself the Heimlich maneuver?
I should probably teach myself that.
So then, did someone save you this time? Like, what happened?
Yeah, what happened?
Basically, I was eating at work and it got lodged like low enough in my throat that like I could breathe but I couldn't swallow anything. And so like if I tried to take a drink of water, it would just trigger my gag reflex, but that thing was still stuck in my throat, even if I would like puke that water up. It was miserable for like half an hour. It was like that. And then finally because I could breathe and stuff and I could talk, but I was like it was like not easy, you know? And my boss finally gave me a beer. And that's what washed it down. I tried a Coke, I tried water, but sometimes you just need a good old brewski.
Miller High Life, I see. 40 ounce.
40 ounce, yeah. Yeah, I'm just rocking a bottle of Stella just like Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got High Life money, okay?
It's the champagne of beers, isn't it?
It is.
That's nice. Well, that's sick, dudes. I have a bunch of new comic books.
I want to hear about them.
Show them. Tell
Pretty
us.
cool shit. Okay, so last month I read the new Checkmate comic, but when I was reading it, I realized clearly I missed something that happened in the DC universe called Event Leviathan.
Oh yeah, Event Leviathan. I read that.
When did that happen?
I'm reading that right now.
It's okay. It's kind of
I
like a whodunit.
I'm liking it so far.
It's like they get all like the best detectives in the DC universe together to figure out like
who done
like
it?
The Question, and
Batman
and Damian.
Green Arrow's there, right?
Well, that's in Checkmate.
Oh, that's in Checkmate. Okay.
Yeah, Event Leviathan is more like they're taking down Superman and shit. It's pretty cool.
Oh, right.
It's actually really sick. They like didn't know that Clark Kent was Superman, and they're like, we're gonna kidnap Clark Kent and have Superman like come to his aid to save him. But like the whole time, we're gonna put almost like a suicide vest, but with kryptonite underneath Clark Kent's shirt, and they're like, haha, good. When Superman gets here, this will kill him. And Clark was like, oh, fuck.
I wish you did say, oh, fuck.
Because he knowingly went into this trap. He's like, oh, they don't know I'm Superman. I'm going to like get them, you know? And then they're like, Clark, we have this, you're going to kill Superman for us. And then he was like, oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Did everyone find out that Superman was Clark Kent?
He tells the
everyone,
world. Yeah.
Oh, that's dumb.
I think they recently reverted it because no one liked that, but
I didn't mind that, honestly.
I don't care.
Clark Kent is not the craziest disguise. I don't know. I'm liking Event Leviathan. You should read it before you judge it, Anthony. You who read such.
I did read Event Leviathan.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I haven't read it.
And I didn't even judge it. So, like, what are you on about?
I got Clayface one day.
That was fucking great. That was one of my favorites.
I haven't read it yet, but I'm excited to.
Nice.
I love that one. I read that the other day. So good.
Who's the art?
The writers are Lansing and Kelly. It's like a tag team. They're really good.
Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing.
Those are the writers. Who's the
Oh, it's Hermanico and Romulo Fajardo Jr.
Nice.
The art's really cool. It's great for a Clayface comic.
Oh, nice. It is good art.
I'm telling you, those One Bad Day one shots are all hits. Like none of them were bad. I liked all of them so far.
None of them were bad. Some were weaker than others.
Yeah,
the Penguin one was like, whatever.
I mean, nothing really tops the Riddler one, but the other ones are great too.
I agree. The Riddler one and the Two-Face one, in my opinion, were the best ones.
Nice.
All right. Then I got, Murder Inc. Valentine's Trust. This is pretty cool.
By Ja Rule.
Yeah, by Ja Rule. Gotti. No, actually, by Brian Michael Bendis. And
Ooh, you're on a Bendis kick.
yeah, it's fucking. It's like it's like an alternate history where if the mafia took over like a large chunk of the country, almost like Old Man Logan style. Like half of it is like ran by the federal government and half is ran by the mafia. Seriously, it's pretty sick. Honestly, they're allowed to like even like there's a part where like one of the maid dudes goes down to Washington D.C. and he has to wear a pin that signifies that he's in the mafia. So like he's untouchable, like down there.
Nice.
Like they cannot fuck with each other.
Nice.
I had to get Ronnie Barnes' Blackula.
Nice.
Haven't read it yet.
Ooh, that was so good. Highly recommend Blackula. Go read that. Go. No, what was fucked up? I looked for it. Like I bought it on Amazon, right? But if I typed in just Blackula, his book does not show up.
That's weird.
Right? Like it should be one of the first things to pop up, but yet like you have to specifically be like Blackula comic or Blackula Rodney Barnes, or else like it's just not there. And that's, I don't know, Jeff Bezos.
They're trying to do our boy Rodney.
They're trying to hold him back.
We don't like that.
Yeah, no, we're not holding back Ronnie Barnes here.
No.
I also got Superman, Red and Blue.
Ooh, I love it's. So the art for that is so cool.
It's an anthology comic too, so I guess it's a bunch of different stories and shit.
Yeah,
the art does look cool. It looks like weird, different art for each one.
Because it's like it's how Batman Black and White, everything was black and white, and that book they only used the colors red, white, and blue. So it's pretty cool.
Exactly. Dude, then I got an independent comic called Stumptown by Greg Rucka.
I've heard of Stumptown.
What's it about?
Dex Parias is the proprietor of Stumptown Investigations and a fairly talented PI. Unfortunately, she's less adept at throwing dice than solving causes. Her recent streaks has left her beyond broke. She's into the Confederated Tribes of the Wind Coast for 18 large, but maybe Dex's luck is about to change. Sue Lin, head of the Wind Coast casino operation, will clear Dex's debt if she can locate Sue Lin's missing granddaughter. But is the job Dex's way out of... Oh, wait. Is the job Dex's way out of the hole or shoved down one... I can't even read this sentence. But, yeah. It sounds like some Native American shit.
Yeah, some noir shit.
Some noir Native American crime shit.
Nice. Greg Rucka, nice.
Have you ever read Scalped, by the way? Any of you guys?
I know of Scalped, but I haven't read it.
I've heard of it, yeah, but I have not read Scalped.
Finally, I got the next Immortal Hulks, 3 and 4.
Nice.
I see 4 is a big boy, too. Dude, I got a hardcover off of Amazon for like $13.
Oh,
nice.
Fuck yeah.
It was a used comic. And dude, it's only used, but it's like, I mean, it's not even used. It's never been opened. It just like got listed under.
I had bought that series as it came out, so I have like the single issues, but I'm waiting for the omnibus. So because I know some of those are really hard to find, right? Like you just can't find some of those volumes.
Yeah, some of them you can, but you know, I'm a detective out here.
Yeah.
Detective JKFH on the job.
And that's all the books I got.
Nice.
Oh, and X-Men Inferno, my bad.
Nice. Let me know when you read that, dude.
I also got this hardcover and used for cheap.
Is that after Immortal X-Men?
No,
it's kind of like what you could read at
during,
like it's perfect for what
like
Jake's up to. Yeah, like it's like you read what we read, House of X, Powers of 10, then you read the X-Men, Jonathan Hickman like run, which is like 20 issues or so, then you could read that.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm about to dip into that.
Is Jonathan Hickman still doing X-Men?
No.
His run's over?
Yeah.
Why?
Like they're still doing Krakoa stuff, but Jonathan Hickman's not doing his thing anymore. I don't really know why. I don't know if he was just going to end there, or Marvel was just like, nah, we don't like where you're going with this, but I don't know. But I like it, you know? I think Jake seems to like it. I think we need to talk more about some Krakoa stuff.
I do like it. It got me more into the X-Men.
Nice.
Yeah, we love the X-Men here.
I wish I could say the same about certain other books.
Wow. Really?
No, actually, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. I thoroughly enjoyed this. But a segue is a segue. It doesn't matter whether it's true.
was gonna say, this is why me and Cody always think like you're shitting on everything. Like the first thing you say is like, "Oh, that's what our brain remembered."
I like to keep you guys on your toes, man. Don't get me wrong. This comic to me has flaws.
Yeah. So
Like a good amount of flaws.
So
but
I'll go ahead and
overall, I enjoyed it.
that brings us to our topic today. New X-Men, the Grant Morrison run. We did issues 114 to 126.
Yeah.
And the annual. And welcome to another episode of Comics and Chronic. It's your boy Cody Cannon with the homies Anthony Iannaccio and Jake FH.
Yo, we're here.
And today, new X-Men.
But Dow, by who?
Grant Morrison. And there's a team of artists. It was 3, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting because it all looks more or less a lot like Frank Quietly, as I feel like.
Yeah.
Frank quietly set like the character designs.
It's very similar to his.
Yeah,
like,
set the tone,
Yeah.
for sure.
There were just some pages where I was like, yo, these are the ugliest versions of these.
No,
fucking
I
characters.
agree.
sure.
What's crazy is I remember when I first read this, because I read this back in like, I don't know, 2014 or something like that. One of my friends lent me the omnibus, and I loved it. And I remember in 2014, I remember being like, wow, this art is insane, like incredible. And rereading it, I was like, oh, some of it is beautiful and awesome, and some of it is some straight doo-doo.
I don't think like I agree with you guys, right? Like, and I don't like necessarily like the designs either, but I think it's kind of purposeful in the sense that like mutants, like in Grant Morrison's mind especially, mutants aren't necessarily always pretty. Like the core team of X-Men, yes, but even them, like
Even
something.
then, there's some really ugly versions of Jean
Right.
Grey and Scott Summers.
No,
and-
absolutely, especially in this comic. Yeah. And to, not to be even corny, but they look uncanny, right? I think that's purposeful. I think Grant Morrison was like, Frank Quietly, like make them, I love your style and I want you to make the X-Men look like that. And that's why like I don't hate it. You get what I'm saying? Like I agree that it's ugly, but it serves a purpose, I think.
I don't think it's all ugly. I just think some of it is really awful.
Just the ugly parts get to me.
They eat you away inside.
Yeah, it makes me hate ugly people.
Oh, by the way, Jake, I wanted to let you know I was talking to Booms earlier today,
Yeah.
and
What a segue.
he brought up that you thought you were tall in the Banshees of Inisherin episode.
I didn't think I was
You
tall.
said-
I just didn't think 5'8" was short.
Yeah, well,
That's saying the same thing.
No, it's not. 5'8" is like the average
I don't think so. But anyway,
median height in the United States.
but I wanted to let you know that Booms pointed out that means you're 2 inches taller than Elijah Wood. So you're 2 inches
Nice.
taller than a literal hobbit.
That's funny.
But yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Now back to the comic book.
Okay.
You just hurt Jake's feelings.
No, it's just, you're like actually like 5'9" is the average height. I don't understand.
You're short, dude.
I don't think I'm tall. I'm not tall.
You're a short
I never
king.
said that. I think you're trying to like pick on me out of your own insecurities. Is what it comes off like.
Oh, I feel great.
You say that.
I feel great.
How tall are you, Cody?
6 foot.
How smart are you, Cody?
I'm the smartest one here. I'm the one who.
Tommy, is this Cody the smartest one here? Gets called out.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I carry the mantle of Cody Feige.
Cody Feige.
Because Kevin Feige's clearly a genius.
Yeah.
He is.
We obviously love the direction that the Marvel Universe has been going in.
I actually saw something today, like Bob Iger was like, he like runs Disney. He's like, yeah, we might not be doing so many sequels going forward, like just focusing on just more characters. Like there's so many Marvel characters that we could do more movies for. Pretty much saying like, yes, Quantumania sucked and Love and Thunder sucked. Maybe people don't want 4. You don't need more than like a couple movies,
Yeah.
That's good. I hope that's I like hearing that. We don't need like, sequel upon sequel.
It's not just quantity with Marvel, though. It's also quality.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's their biggest downfall. But not their downfall in this comic.
No, not at all.
This is some quality storytelling.
It's clearly been inspired by the X-Men Fox movie that came out in 2000, because this is a 2001 comic.
Yeah.
Grant Morrison was definitely like, let me take some of that.
Oh, I thought this came out of
Inspired. Is that the Brian Vaughn one?
Yes.
Huh?
No.
Wait, what?
That's
what?
you mean what's his name? Who did the first
Bryan Singer. Yeah,
Bryan
yeah.
Singer.
Sorry.
Wait, Matthew
Oh
Vaughn.
no! Are you referring to the James McAvoy one or no?
No, X-Men, like the OG, like Fox X-Men, like the one with Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen. That had come out in 2000, right? So this comic came out in 2001.
Yeah.
Because it's all like those leather suit designs. How do you guys feel about that?
Get rid of it.
They're not their bright color X-Men suits.
Get rid of it.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Not for the comics.
The costumes themselves, especially in this comic with the yellow X, looked more like the X-Men First Class suits.
I bet X-Men First Class probably drew from this.
Yeah, and
Like
if
even
anything,
X-Men First Class Beast looks more like this Beast.
I love this beast.
he's more like
like
a
this
cat
beast.
now.
Yeah, I love feline beast.
He's more big feline creature.
And I like how the villain fucks with him and makes him think he's regressing.
Yeah.
I like that. The psychological torture in this is awesome.
So what did you guys think of the villain of this comic?
Psychological torture.
Cassandra Nova, I like her a lot. I do like her a lot. She's fucked up.
Fucked up for sure. Can you believe literally this comic, like in the first issue or two, maybe three, in the third issue of this run that we did, we witness a genocide.
Yeah. 16 million mutants wiped off fucking Genosha.
Jesus Christ.
Take a bong hit. Take a bong hit for those mutants.
It feels a little unrealistic that 16 million people live on Genosha. I didn't know Genosha was so big landmass wise.
Yeah, I don't know the X-Men lore like that crazily. I know that Magneto was running it, right? We see him in a wheelchair. Like I don't really know. Like there's a part of Grant Morrison like kind of revamping the X-Men this way is like saying like, you know, there's been a lot of great X-Men, like Chris Claremont X-Men, like we've met, like, you know, Chris Claremont's like the GOAT when it comes to comics and X-Men but Grant Morrison's like there's a lot of continuity that's also just like what the fuck, like no one remembers that, or it's just like there's so many years. X-Men came out in the 1960s, you know, there's no way everyone, you know, this was a way to get other readers in. So like you wipe off 16 million mutants, you don't really have you could say any mutant died there, so you don't really know who died for sure. But I don't know, the Genosha thing's such a huge deal. I feel like it raises the stakes in an extreme way. Like now there's less mutants.
Way less mutants. And we love seeing superheroes on their back.
Yeah, especially Emma Frost.
Dude, she's a baddie.
I love the one good thing about Emma Frost's continuity amongst every artist is that she's a baddie.
Yeah.
Well, she prides herself in how hot she is.
Even diamond form Emma Frost is pretty hot.
Yeah, dude.
Well, we see her turn into Diamond for the first time here, which I totally forgot this was the first time.
I didn't even really see when I read that I was like, oh, I thought that was always like a thing with her.
No, yeah. No, see, Grant Morrison fucking brings in secondary mutations, so that's what a lot of people are experiencing in this comic.
Yeah, I assumed her being psychic and diamond shit was always like a canonical thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So the plot of this comic starts with Cassandra Nova is using a master mold to build a like super sentinel that'll destroy Genosha. And it's basically
It's like a giant cockroach sentinel, basically.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
yeah, and then it basically just takes it's the fallout of that, and the entire arc is the battle with Cassandra Nova, dude. When she swaps bodies with Charles,
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
dude. Definitely, I feel like Grant Morrison, especially in this, it felt like. I feel like Grant Morrison, like if Christopher Nolan were to do a X-Men, it would be this story arc. I feel like this just kind of reminded me like, ooh, the twist and who's in whose mind and who's, you know what I mean? Like,
Shit, that's true. Yeah. It's a lot of Inception.
I love that about
going
it.
on.
Oh yeah, for sure. The way Jean Grey to get Charles back takes Charles into her mind.
Yeah. Dude, you know what was one of the trippiest issues was the one, no words. It was just silence.
The
when they go
silent
into that
issue,
room.
yeah.
Yeah, the silent issue.
I love that one.
That was one of the best
What happened to the
issues. It also
silent
reminded me-
issue?
Jean
It's
Grey
like
and
her
Emma Frost.
Jean Grey and Emma Frost go into Charles's mind.
Oh
It's like all kinds of
yeah,
fucking trippy and whatnot.
yeah.
There's like doors with faces that when she like turns the knob, the face was like it changes.
Yeah.
fucking-
That was a straight up
trippy issue.
psychedelic issue.
Yeah. But let's talk about the plot a little, right? Like, so Grant Morrison introduces Cerebra, and Cerebra is a bit more souped up than Cerebro, and Xavier's finding like, new mutants are popping up. It's like, it seems to be very optimistic at the beginning. Like Cody said, Cassandra Nova's building a tri-sentinel, and she's looking for Xavier. So we find out that she's Xavier's twin sister, quote unquote. Not really a person, kind of like this psychic entity that was feeding off of him. Like when they're in the womb,
he killed her in the womb.
Yeah.
you see.
That's so
It's
silly.
such a funny panel.
So
As
silly.
a little like infant baby in the womb, like killed her.
Yeah, massive cranium. Just
And at first you're like,
big baby dome.
yeah, and at first you're like, you might think that it's Cassandra in the womb. You're not sure that it's Xavier at first, right? I wasn't able to tell until Jean Grey's like, oh my God. Like, and then you think Xavier might be on the wrong
I put
side.
together, it was Charles.
See, I couldn't, because they look
That's all I
very
was
much
thinking about.
alike.
Well, they're twins, Anthony.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what twins do.
That's what twins do. That's a main trait of twins. They look alike.
Yeah.
You learn something every day on Comics and Chronic.
And Cassandra is like, I would argue, almost more powerful than Xavier.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's like a.
She seems it.
What do they call her? A mummadry or something? Like she's like this weird parasitic bug looking thing.
Yeah. Sleepy baby.
Yeah,
I had
sleepy
an
baby
edible
Jake.
before we started recording.
I had a 100 milligram edible before we started. Let's go,
You had
Jake.
100
Come on.
milligram?
Yeah, come on. What
That's
is this?
insane.
That is insane.
100 million. That sounds terrifying.
insane. Maybe I
would
got
be
taken
having-
over.
Exactly. I would be having a panic attack.
Some of us are just built different, Jake.
I guess so.
But yeah. So Cassandra's this weird, like, psychic bug. But it's weird that it's just an insane comic. Grant Morrison just loves going off the rails with stories.
Finding really creative ways to use everyone's mutant powers too.
You know, we say we like we see he has hit or misses. This is more of a hit than a miss.
For sure.
Oh, 100% this is a hit. Like I was thinking how there's one part where Cyclops is talking to Jean and he's like, Jean, take away all the oxygen out of the molecules around those people so they stop breathing, and that's how you take them out. Or that's how she might take Cassandra out, I think. Just creative ways, like like I like explaining that. Like it might seem obvious after you read it, like, oh yeah, of course Jean Grey could do that. But I think that's Grant Morrison just being like, ooh, this is a cool way to use her powers,
Have you ever read Green Lantern Intergalactic Lawman?
No.
It's a pretty fucking.
We do
trippy
need to
comic.
do
Yes,
it.
I've read some of that.
We need to do a Green Lantern story just because I've barely read any Green Lantern.
Not that one. I wouldn't say that one, but
Yeah, it's not my favorite Green Lantern run.
it's really good art. I'll say that, but the story just kind of sucks.
Yeah, wow. Grant Morrison can't have it all.
Yeah, no, they can't.
Jake, who were your favorite mutants?
Ooh, yeah, there's a lot of New Mutants here too.
Yeah, there are a lot of mutants. I was gonna say, fucking. You know who I didn't like, to be honest. I wasn't a fan of Angel.
Was Angel in this?
Angel was
dragon-
yes, her
Dragon-
name is
yes.
Angel. Yeah, her name is
Her
Angel.
name is Angel. It was the Dragonfly girl that
Going back to first
Yeah.
class. Going back to first class,
Zoe
right?
Kravitz.
Zoe
She was in
Kravitz
this.
was
Remember
Angel.
Logan rescues her?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I love Logan in this story, but I hate the way he looks.
He looks
Yeah.
horrendous.
Yep. Again, you might look like that if you got your face beaten in and melted off. It's melting at the very beginning of the story. His face has been melting off, and he's regenerating in the
But
X-Jet.
even when it's not, he's drawn so ugly.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
He has the
They
weirdest
are their
expressions.
ugliest here, especially Cyclops. He's
Cyclops
so fucking
looks-
ugly.
Cyclops is even with half his face covered by a visor.
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
He's like tall and weirdly skinny, and
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't really look like muscular or built.
Nope.
His body's skinny, but his face is almost a little jowly.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
They're just drawn so ugly.
And Cyclops also feels insane in these issues. Like anytime something needs to go down, he's like, I got it. Don't worry. Like I don't picture him talking like a maniac, but he's just kind of like, sure, I'll do the job that's probably going to kill me. No worries. I always survive. Like we know as readers he will survive, but if he was an actual person, he's insane.
Yeah. Also, I mean, he's a hero, but he's also like, I feel like he's not doing a good job as Cyclops. He's cheating on Jean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll later learn something about what's going on with Emma Frost and Cyclops. It's not necessarily, yes, he's cheating on Jean, but I don't know if that actually happens. I think he's cheating on Jean inside of his mind. Yeah, it's a mental, it's still cheating.
They have a telepathic relationship?
Yeah, it's like a telepathic affair between him and Emma Frost. Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we see the beginnings of that here because we know him and Jean their relationship is a bit on the rocks. You know, they haven't been banging. You know, they're not really getting along too well.
Honestly, I just finished Hickman's run on X-Men. I like that Emma Frost in almost every run is like a pretty like sex positive, strong female woman who denies herself like nothing. Like she will indulge any pleasure. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Emma's
I like
like,
Emma Frost.
this is when she becomes a hero, isn't it?
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, we don't see Emma Frost as a big a deal on the X-Men or even like heroic really until this moment. Like, yes, like there's moments in the past where like she's not in the Hellfire Club anymore. She has like her own team of mutants. Like they point out like, you know, you used to be a villain. Beast says that I think at one point to like throw some shade at her. And then he takes it back.
Yeah, once a villain, always a villain.
Yeah, exactly. But this is like us. This was my first time reading Emma Frost when I read it. You know, not this time. I've read New X-Men before, but the first time I read New X-Men. So you get what I'm saying? Like how we've talked about in the past, how certain things shape your canon. So to me, I didn't really know that Emma Frost was like such a bad person in the past.
Yeah.
To the X-Men.
And this really sets the tone for like X-Men for the next 20 years.
Yeah, in a big way. In a
huge way. Emma Frost becomes a monumental part of the X-Men.
Yep. Whoa. Eventually becomes the head mistress of the Xavier School.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know that.
I like how Jean takes that role in this comic. She deserves it.
Yeah, Jean's a badass. Always loved Jean.
She's so cool.
I like when Emma Frost makes all the SWAT guys like orgasm or the
she makes them come.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Great moment.
Jean is starting to dabble in the Phoenix, using the Phoenix.
Yeah, it's coming back out.
Yeah.
It's coming back.
Cody has read this whole run, so he knows where it leads.
Yeah.
Some pretty fucked up moments.
Yeah.
Jean, that whore.
who do you like more, Jake, Jean, or Emma?
Ooh, yeah, good question.
Emma easily. I'm team Emma Frost.
Jean all day.
Emma, I'm team Jean Grey, but I also love Emma. It's not like it's like choosing between my two favorite pieces of candy. You know what I'm saying? Like either way, I'm winning. But
Jean Grey is whack.
No, I love Jean Grey.
No. You already know Team Emma.
Yeah, I knew that about you.
But you know, Jean Grey is also fucking around with Logan a little bit on the side. That's going to develop more too. Like we see them in the woods.
Remember they get a little smoochy.
Yep. So you know, there's a whole thing going on. In the more modern day run, it's almost like in the Hickman run, especially, it's acknowledged like it's almost like they're a throuple. It's like Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean Grey, and like,
that's true.
And you know, that's not just that. Also means Wolverine and Cyclops. You know, like all three of them like have their own thing going on. Hell yeah! Like especially as this run goes on, you see that like that bond with Cyclops and Wolverine getting tighter. It's pretty interesting.
Well, wait, time out. Wolverine and Cyclops have had sex before? This is canon?
I don't know, like if I don't want to say it's explicit, but
Cody,
like
do you know?
I haven't read this far into X-Men.
No. There's never like an issue where it's like in this issue, Cyclops and Wolverine bang, right? But like you could go to these Krakoa moments where like they're all partying and drinking and like Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Wolverine have their arms around each other, like heading back to the fucking Summers house. You know what I mean? Like just things that are kind of like implied heavily, but also just to say that Grant Morrison kind of does really inject or tries to inject this sexuality into the X-Men. That's interesting, you know? Like he kind of tries to make them sexy, which I respect. You why not? Let's try to make them cool.
The X-Men are sexy,
right? Let's bring that to the forefront. Like it feels like that. This whole comic, it feels like
it's a sexy comic, even though it's.
If you guys were gonna be any X-Men, which one would you be?
Who would I? I mean, who would I be, or who would I be in this run, or who?
Both. I would say. I was just asking X-Men in general.
I feel like if I was an X-Men, I'd definitely be Banshee.
Really?
Cody's a Banshee. Okay. I would love to be Nightcrawler. I've always loved Nightcrawler.
Nice. I could see you as Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I picked Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler is kind of the altar boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, actually.
But he is a demon.
If not Nightcrawler, or I mean, if not dang ol' Banshee, I'd probably be Beast.
Yeah. Hard Beast vibes.
I give you more Wolverine vibes than Beast. Really, Cody? Beast? Cody's Beast? Cody's the guy that's like, don't worry, I'm going to figure out the way to stop this mutant flu that's going to kill us all. Don't worry, guys.
I don't see Wolverine either.
I feel like Cody has Wolverine vibes for sure.
I don't know. Cody, do you agree with that? You picked Beast.
I'm not gonna say no to old Wolverine's one of my favorite X-Men. X-Men's one of those things where like very few of them.
It's fluid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So who do you think you would be?
Who do you think I would be, or who would I want to be? I was just saying who do you want to be.
Oh, okay. Who do you both?
Who do you
Honestly,
want to
as far as like what I like, he's one of my favorite X-Men characters. And B, just like the power is really useful. I don't know, Magneto, to be honest.
Yeah. Jake always goes Magneto.
I love Magneto. Also, like the control of magnetism is a huge power.
Yep.
Yeah.
Manipulating, created at will. Who would I be? I feel like Pyro.
For sure.
Burn everyone down.
For sure.
Yeah, that Pyro, not like X2 Pyro that you have like a lighter.
I'm not going with blind singers. I'm going like more classic 90s red and yellow villain Pyro.
Yeah.
That's the
He's
Pyro
Australian, isn't he? In the cartoon?
Yeah, I'm Pyro.
Oh, you might have been right, yeah. Pyro.
I would also take Xavier, you know. I don't want to be Xavier in this comic. He goes through it in this comic.
Yeah, dude, he has it tough.
Who's the see-through plasma mutant in this comic?
Oh, that is or Glob.
Glob.
You don't really you only see Glob, but then later on, like you actually get some Glob story, and Glob's really cool. I like Glob as a character.
A lot of cool. I love the Stepford girl.
The Stepford Cuckoos, yeah.
Okay, so what was their deal? Like, where are they from?
They're Emma Frost clones.
Oh, really?
They don't say that explicitly here, but they're Emma Frost clones. Yep.
Yeah.
And why are all their eyes blue and lit up and everything?
Because they're like a circuit, right? Like that's why they get mad when one of them starts having a boyfriend, because they're like, no, our powers only work if all five of us are together.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were
But they retcon that later on, don't they?
Yeah.
That they're clones?
No, that they are they don't need all five to use their powers, because don't a couple of them die? Am I crazy?
Yeah, I think exactly. Yep. So I don't remember how that. Yeah, in this run, actually, I think that starts to happen. You're right, Cody. So either like their power gets transferred or something happens, but when we see them here, yeah, they need to be kind of like a circuit.
Yeah.
Another thing that happens is that you Angel and Beak have like a legit relationship. Like that's when you get to kind of see more of those characters.
I liked Beak.
Beak was cool, but he gets the shit beat out of him.
He also beats the shit out of Hank.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Ugly, yeah, he's an ugly motherfucker anyways.
Yeah.
But that's
if I was Marvel 1602 Magneto, I'd have to kill that motherfucker.
You can't be representing us.
I was like, I'm sorry, little dude. You got to go. You're burning you at the stake.
But a lot of these new mutants are ugly. Like going back to Glob, like you pointed out, though he looks. All of them are like maybe not the Stepford Cuckoos, but they're just kind of creepy. But even
Stepford
that
Cuckoos.
one dude who John, what's his name? John
Three-Face?
Sublime.
Yeah. Oh, Remember?
You know that guy? Oh yeah, the 3-Face guy too. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
He's
that
ugly as fuck.
motherfucker.
But John Sublime has the brain in a jar girl, Martha, and that's just like a weird thing
Yeah.
too.
That dude is weird. The dude who wants to like harvest mutants to make
Yeah,
people.
John Sublime and the U-Men.
The human. So dumb.
Yeah, dude, they were pretty wonky.
Yeah.
They stood no chance.
I like how they got fucked up.
half QAnon, half fucking
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
seriously.
honestly, this a lot of the politics. I feel like with X-Men, it kind of is always the case, but a lot of the politics still hold up and like mirror our current social climate.
for sure.
That was another thing I think, I was reading. So in the omnibus in the back, Grant Morrison has it says the Morrison Manifesto.
Oh, shit.
And they're just pointing out like their goals for like making this revamp of the X-Men. And they're talking about how like in recent years in the past, like the X-Men came off a little bit too conservative and they wanted to make them more like feel fresher and more radical like they should. And like in this one, you get that, especially in that scene where like the humans are kind of protesting and they're like when you said Emma Frost made all those people come and just like the way they handle the situation is like, yeah, you need us. You need mutants, you should respect us and like we're not trying to like overtake you. Yeah. But that's another thing in the background. They find out that humans are like kind of going extinct or they are going extinct.
Yeah,
like mutants are taking over. That's why the Genosha thing is a huge deal. You just wiped out 16 million mutants who were like Jean Grey said. That could be one of those 16 million. That's 16 million possible cures for cancer and AIDS and all this stuff. Like, I think I don't know if it's the first time they talk about it, but like a utopia, like it starts to be like Cody says, the next 20 years of X-Men are kind of defined by this. Like they're always going for a utopia that they kind of ended up with in Krakoa, but like it's the point, like the dream.
They literally had an island called Utopia, didn't they, at one point?
Yeah, eventually. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
off the coast of San Francisco or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So they get there and then they lose it. Like it's always that. Like they always have to fight for it, which that's why I like the X-Men. They always have to fucking fight just to survive. And like you could always root for that. How could you not get behind that?
Yeah, the X-Men are great.
When they look as ugly as these mutants, trust me, I would vote for the anti-mutant bill.
Jake, that's so funny.
No, it was a fucked up thing in the comic that Cassandra Nova was doing to people. But you see it with Cyclops and you don't really get an explanation, but it's so vague that it creeped me out. There's a moment where she takes Cyclops and she's like, "You're in the black bug room." And Cyclops is like, "What?" And there's just like giant black bugs and they're just like, "You're a failure. You suck. Like you're the worst person on earth. No one loves you." And I'm just like, holy shit. Like that would get me. I'd be like, "Yep, I'm done, guys." Like, I might have the best powers, but you just fucked me. I'm gonna cry over there. Like, like that was fucked up to me.
Yeah, Cassandra Nova was a monster. She completely takes over the Shi'ar Empire.
Yes. Oh man, the Shi'ar are fucked. Especially Gladiator. That was probably where I learned that Gladiator's power is that the more confident he is in himself, the stronger he is. So you get rid of that and you fuck him up.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Like his all self-esteem based powers. That's
a pretty cool power.
Yeah, for sure. It would be great for Jake.
Like he's Superman if he like believes in himself. Yeah, that would be great
for Jake. Y'all got jokes today because I'm high and I can't rebut. I'm gonna flame y'all down the road.
This is the only episode Jake has been high for of Comics and Chronic, is what he's saying. Gladiator's cool though because he's always been like a Superman kind of analog. Like his name is even Clark. Yeah. Like you could pretty much say he's like Superman of the Shi'ar, but if you like call him a pussy, he might believe that, and now he's like has no powers.
Yeah.
And that's what Cassandra Nova does.
Yeah. She just like, it's crazy. She like literally takes over everybody's mind. The Empress of the Shi'ar, former lover of Charles Xavier.
Lalandra. Remember the cartoon? He's always like, Lalandra.
Yeah. She sends Smasher to Earth to warn people, but then he just like crash lands and doesn't warn anybody.
He warned some cows. The cows know.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you guys think about Zorn? We meet Zorn in the annual, and then Zorn pops back up again as kind of like a a Deus Ex Machina, like, oh, you could just heal everybody and you are the strongest and you just save everything. Right? Like without Zorn, you don't have an ending to this story.
Yeah, he literally is what helps everything.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Zorn.
You're not a Zorn fan?
Especially when you find out who Zorn is, it makes no sense.
Yeah, that's absurd. I'm glad they retcon that and make him into the Zorn twins.
Who is Zorn again?
Zorn was the dude that had the star for a head.
Yeah, that's his mutant power.
No,
like he was
I know.
born.
Who did he end up being?
Oh.
So they don't tell you in the comic, but we have to talk about it because it's so dumb.
What?
It's gonna hurt you.
No, but it'll also ruin it. Jake will not be able to finish the run if we tell him.
Oh, we can't say who Zorn is?
No.
Yeah, you can.
Damn.
Of course you can.
Jake, you won't be able to finish it.
Yeah, you'll be pissed. You'll be pissed.
Nah, I'll be fine.
No, you won't. You won't.
I'm not going to finish it anyway. Like, I'm not reading past this.
Oh, really?
Really? You don't want to?
No, I'm not going to buy it. I bought this used for, dude, check it out, $9.99.
Nice.
Nice.
So,
so you don't want to read past this. So maybe we should spoil it.
Yeah. I'm also, unlike you, I'm judging strictly what we're reading, not what becomes before.
Okay, so Zorn, if you want to know who he really is,
Yes.
commies skip this if you don't want spoilers and you want to finish reading.
Spoilers galore.
Yeah.
Zorn ends up being Magneto in disguise.
Ugh,
Yep.
Yeah, I hate that.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. How did he just get these powers? Like, what? And he's the one that healed?
They explain it in the sense that like nanotech or so. He has like
Yeah. He could destroy that with his magnet powers. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
whatever.
still, it's not a good reveal. And like Cody said, they retcon it to make it that like they make it more that he is the Zorn that you get introduced to, like some dude that's been locked away.
Yeah, there's the Zorn twins.
The Zorn twins. Yeah. But they never do anything with it. You know, they're forgettable. You're
At
just
least
like,
they're
why did you ever-
retconned though, because that is honestly arguably one of the worst twists in comics that I've read.
Yeah, exactly. You'd rather it be no one. Like the fact that you make it Magneto is just like,
Yeah, big old stinky poo poo.
I don't really feel affected either way. It doesn't affect how I feel about the new X-Men.
Oh, but so yeah, Zorn. I like Zorn the character though. I like that he's a Buddhist.
yeah. That they really had to stop his head from exploding, like in the annual. Like that's what the annual's about. Like they find Zorn, but his head's a sun, but now it's become a black hole and it's gonna take out everything unless they like fix him.
Yeah, it's the U-men who have him imprisoned in China.
Yeah, the U-men.
Fucking China back at it again. I see.
Dude, that guy bites it. That evil general or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that X-Men be killing.
Oh, especially in this. I mean, it seems very, maybe it's on the nose, maybe it's supposed to feel like this immediately, but like it feels like the X-Men are just how the American government always is, but especially in like early 2000s, because they go to different countries and even in America, they're like, what jurisdiction do you have? They're like, don't worry, like, you know, we're here to just do what we have to do. Like, we don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
they say that, like, and you're like, oh, everyone's just like, oh, all right, like, who's going to stop the X-Men, really? Like, if you're a human, you should be afraid of the X-Men. Like, they're not trying to hurt you, but like, Xavier in the beginning of the fucking comic, like when his body's about to be possessed by Cassandra Nova, puts the gun to his head. He's like, you're not taking my body. You're not taking my body. Oh, I love Xavier when he does badass shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, he always reinforces, I'm the only one that can have my mind. If someone else has my mind, the world is fucked.
And at the end of this arc is when Charles starts to walk again.
Yes, which is canon for a long ass time.
Long time. Hate it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, we kind of like Xavier in the wheelchair, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't actually. I kind of like him in Hickman's run as walking with the helmet on. Cerebro.
That I really like. But that, like, in between that, he does lose the ability to walk again and also dies.
He does a couple times, doesn't he?
Oh, and his brain gets taken over by Red Skull at one point.
What?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
But he's not alive. Like, it's the skull of Charles Xavier, and Red Skull is using it to, like, fuck shit up. And he becomes Onslaught and shit. It's not that good, actually. Rick Remender writes it, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I read the first volume, but I didn't get past that.
Well, Uncanny Avengers, I'll take that back. Uncanny Avengers is pretty good. It takes place after Avengers versus X-Men, and you actually get like a cool mixed team of like Avengers and X-Men.
Avengers versus X-Men happens right after the Rick Remender X-Force.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Yeah.
There's so many good X-Men stories. Like I could literally read from New X-Men and like Cody said, the next 20 years and I'm set. Like I love, I love the X-Men.
Real talk, this might be a little bold to say, but
be bold.
I would say that my two favorite mainstream comic series are X-Men and Batman.
That's not bold. Why, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people would say that. No, those are good. Those are good. Those are quality series.
I thought I was having a hot take for some reason.
Oh, here's what I think this is a hot take, or rather, I hated the take. It's a cold take. So I was in a comic shop this weekend, right in Philly. I'm not going to say which comic shop it is because maybe you'll know exactly which guy I'm talking about because I know this guy worked in the store. I don't know if he was the owner. He was being super loud talking to this customer. I'm sure all the customers said, I'm positive all the customers said was like, oh, is this Catwoman book any good? And then this guy goes on this long rant about how and this is the part where I think it's a cold take. I don't like the take at all. The guy says, Catwoman is Batman's greatest villain because she's the only one that ever broke his heart.
Ugh. I hate this guy already.
Yeah, I was like, oh my fucking God. Under my breath, I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know if I hate that take.
I hate it. I don't think that take at all.
I mean, obviously, Joker is the greatest, but I would easily say Catwoman's number 2.
I wouldn't.
No, I don't even know if I want to say Joker is Batman's greatest villain. I mean, I guess he is, but I would like to say Ra's al Ghul is Batman's greatest villain.
Really? I wouldn't even say that.
Who would you? That's okay. So this is why I'm bringing the question to you guys. So okay. So Cody says Joker, but Catwoman is a close second. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, I probably would say Joker.
I guess it's just by default Joker.
I would say my top 3 Batman villains.
He's killed Ra's al Ghul, knowing full well Ra's al Ghul can go into a Lazarus pit.
Yeah,
true. I just love their
he won't kill Joker.
Back and forth.
Joker is allowed to
keep
wreaking havoc.
The 3 that I would say is 3 best: Joker, Catwoman, Harvey Dent.
Yeah, Harvey Dent's a great one.
I do like Harvey Dent. I like Two-Face a lot.
I just don't I almost don't even feel like Catwoman's much of a villain for him.
She's exactly. That's really what I'm having a hard time with. Is that the last 10 years or more, she's a bad guy in Gotham. She's rarely a villain to Batman. You know.
Yes,
He's
rarely.
always stop stealing stuff while looking very sexy. She's like, see you later, Batman. I wouldn't call that a great villain by any means.
Yes.
And she did break his heart, and my man kept going.
Yeah, exactly. When his parents died, that's what broke his heart. That's when his heart was literally broken.
I think Batman's greatest villain is himself.
See, I would accept that answer
That's
if you were screaming
take.
in a comic shop.
See?
It's almost like an edgelord take. Batman's greatest villain is himself.
Yeah.
But I get it too.
It is, dude.
Okay, so who do you think the X-Men's greatest villain is?
Republicans.
Humanity.
Republicans.
Yeah, Republicans. Yes, easy. Yes.
Republicans.
100%.
Yeah, because the Republicans would 100% be introducing anti-mutant legislation.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. They probably have it ready just in case someone has a mutation.
Yeah.
It's like, I swear, I've already drafted the bill. As soon as we find out mutants are real, we're ready to go.
Kind of like how pot dispensaries are ready to open as soon as a state makes it legal.
Same exact paperwork that you need to do.
So there's I would say Magneto for sure is X-Men's biggest villain when he's not on the X-Men.
When he's not on their team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, you think X-Men, you think Magneto.
And yet, to a degree, he's not, because there's so many comics where he welcomes X-Men. He's like, oh, like, yo, more than welcome to join me in my, Cyclops has joined him before. Like other people, like a lot of Storm has joined him.
Definitely more on the side of a hero and an anti-hero these days. I would argue that Magneto might be the greatest comic book villain.
Ooh, that's a hot take. It's a very hot take.
I mean, I like that because what you're really saying is like Magneto, the character, is so good.
He's also like pretty compelling,
Yeah, exactly.
He has
like
a compelling backstory. And
yeah.
Which he is not in this run at all until later.
No, and I respect that. I respect that because, I mean, unless you count that he's been Zorn the whole time, but like, but the point being like, yeah, like you could still do a cool X-Men story without Magneto. You know, he doesn't always need to be there. Sentinels, I like Sentinels being there because they're always like, you just can't get rid of Sentinels. I kind of like that always hovering over their head.
I liked reading this book because after reading Hickman's book, there is like a whole bunch of issues with this book's crazy master mold in the rainforest or whatever.
Exactly.
And I remember reading it in Hickman's and I was like, what the fuck is that thing?
Because, dude, you're not
reading this. I was like, whoa, this is where it began.
Oh, dude, we didn't even get up to the vault. The vault is insane.
Yeah,
the vault is a crazy place.
The vault in Hickman's run is cool too.
Right, and this is where it starts. You meet Phantom X. Oh man, I wish we read some Phantom X because I do like Phantom X.
Who the fuck was that dude on Hickman's run? I was like,
just wait,
Phantom X. Yeah,
dude.
But well, Jake doesn't want to read. Remember?
No,
so
but we're gonna definitely force Jake to read X-Force.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, we'll see Phantom X and X-Force when we read that for sure. Because I feel like Jake would like Phantom X.
Yeah, you would love Phantom X.
I mean, he was cool for what little I knew of him in Hickman's run.
Yeah,
I feel like his run in Remender is one of his strongest, if not his strongest.
What's his mutant ability?
He heals.
Yeah, he's like a weapon. He's not Weapon X, but he's part of that line. Like he's like Weapon 11 or 12
he's
or
like
something
a
like that.
Deadpool-esque type of.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because in Hickman's run, he's like really sick with guns and shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's like less annoying Deadpool, but he's like a smarmy British dude.
Yeah, he seems smarmy and
Yeah, he's smart. I thought it was French.
Oh yeah, maybe he's French or Belgian. I think he's Belgian.
Even worse.
But I also like that he has a mental connection with his spaceship.
Yes. He has psychic powers, yep. Like he's one of those mutants too. Like right before Krakoa, and I don't know how they explain this. I'm not sure they ever explained it, actually. Maybe it's something that's still part of the mystery. But Phantom X this is like in between. So like Xavier, like we were saying, like I was saying, like Xavier gets his brain taken over by Red Skull. Blah, 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 blah. Xavier's gone, but his psychic energy is somewhere existing. And Phantom X finds it, or the X-Men find it, and Phantom X puts Xavier in his body, and that's how Xavier could walk again. So when Krakoa started, I was always assuming that he was just Phantom X in the body of the Professor, but they just kind of like forgot about that, I guess.
Yeah.
Like he's that level psychic where he, like in this, how Jean Grey has a lot of trouble holding
Charles
Professor X inside of her, That's a cool moment too. I like that part.
I like when Jean brings out the Phoenix.
Yeah. She like flares up here. It's like, it's coming back, but not fully yet. She has a Phoenix flare up.
The Phoenix is a great X-Men villain because it's it's like the first time the X-Men have to fight someone they really love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Phoenix,
who has committed like genocide across the universe.
Yeah. Chris Claremont's Phoenix saga is insane.
Mm-hmm. The emotional stakes are high.
Also in the 97 X-Men cartoon.
Yeah. The 90s X-Men handles the Phoenix saga pretty well.
I was going to say, let's not forget X-Men 3 Last Stand.
Ugh.
Let us forget it. Let us forget it.
Yeah, please. What was the actress that played Jean in that?
Famke Jensen.
Yeah.
It wasn't her fault.
No, I loved her as Jean Grey, honestly.
Yeah, she was a great Jean Grey.
She was great.
Yeah, the first two of Bryan Singer's X-Men were awesome.
I agree.
They rock.
I agree.
The third one, big old stinky poo-poo.
X-Men 2, I love.
Brian Cox is such a good villain.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I mean. I
Striker.
like when humans are the villains for the X-Men because they just want to wipe out the mutants. Like mutants, at least they could band together at some point.
Who are the main? There's Trask. There's
Trask is the Sentinel creator. Then you got Stryker, who's more like the Weapon X dude.
Stryker.
Yeah.
Then you have the dude that makes Bastion. Remember him in X-Force? There's this dude. I think he's like a religious dude. But anyway, it's always like people that are connected with the Sentinels in some way. You know, like they program them to be like the next level. Like in here, like we see like it's a Trask, but like he's like following Cassandra at the beginning of the comic, and he's like, oh, you know, like I've only seen this shit on Discovery Channel. Like she's showing him like humans murdering Neanderthals, like taking like their place.
Yeah.
And like this whole time, like we learn an issue or two later that she's just copying his brain power, like all of his like DNA, and she's just gonna activate the Sentinels and kill him. She puts her hand through his face.
Yeah, that was cool.
She's just like, I got your face and you're dead.
Got your nose.
But like you see it, like that was a cool like piece of art in the comic. You know, that panel, like you just see the fingers through the skin.
Yeah. So how many JPCs?
Ooh, the Joe Pesci Nexus.
I'll go first. I like New X-Men a lot. Love Grant Morrison. The art's a little wonky, but it doesn't like take away too much from me. I just love the New X-Men run. Like if you haven't read it, read it. Like read more than 114 to 126. You're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, read the whole. Just get the omnibus. It's worth it.
Yeah, I think they're re-releasing it soon, actually. So people should be able to get it, or find like a used copy. Like Jake found all these issues we talked about for pretty cheap.
Yeah,
but it's a great story. If you're an X-Men fan, I'm sure you'll love it. I'm not gonna give it a 6, but I'll give it a 5.6.
Nice.
okay, interesting.
Big fan of it. Totally recommend it.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to if we were doing the whole omnibus, I probably would still give it a 6, but especially because Zorn is Zorn and not Magneto, I'm definitely giving this run a 6. This is the first time you see Cassandra Nova. She's a great villain. The way she infects the mutants with those nanobots or nano sentinels.
Yeah.
And
they don't even know what's happening.
yeah, they just think they're having a flu.
Yep.
I loved it. 6.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Interesting, you guys. Very interesting.
So where's this going, Jakey Boo?
I guess I'll give it probably a 5.
Nice. I accept
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
It's not perfect.
It's not perfect, but it's good.
And I do think it's like one of the most influential X-Men runs ever. Like it's up there with Claremont as far as influential X-Men stories.
Yeah.
Facts.
Grant Morrison sets the standard for a lot of comics after they they inject something into the characters that seems to be long lasting. You know, Grant Morrison has written All-Star Superman. I'm sure a lot of people have taken from All-Star Superman. We know James Gunn is taking from All-Star Superman. You know, Grant Morrison did that for Justice League as well, you know.
Did not do that, however, for Batman.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Damien?
I liked Grant Morrison's Batman.
Yeah,
stuff.
what? You didn't like Grant
I
Morrison's
didn't
Batman?
like R.I.P. Batman.
Oh, that's a little wonky, but
yeah, that's like the other shit's good.
Okay.
like the Black Love, that's a really cool.
Black Love. There's a bunch of good. I have a shit ton of.
Okay, I guess I'm just mostly hating on an R.I.P.
That's fair. That's fair, though.
That's fair. R.I.P. isn't that good.
It's a mess.
No, it's a total mess. It's totally confusing. I don't know. Like I had to find like a reading order online, and there's like it's ridiculous.
I love their introduction of Damian Wayne was awesome.
No, yeah, I agree. So, but yeah, I would say this is a great comic to read for if you've never read an X-Men comic also.
Yes, I agree. I think you could just pick this up.
Really? I don't know about that.
Well, I think especially when you go
They
into
even reference in these books, like Gene's like, Beast, you look different from the last time I saw you. Like almost like an inside, like this is his first time as a giant feline. Gene even says, I like this new look on you.
Yeah.
So then it almost had me wonder, like, well, what happened before that changed?
I do find that irritating. Grant Morrison be doing a lot of exposition in their dialogue. I'm not crazy about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, like, but still, like, I enjoyed it, you know, like, I didn't want to stop reading at 126, but it's a great, like, the last thing you see is Xavier coming out, like, and he's able to walk, and you're like, oh shit, you know, they just leave it at that.
Walking,
so how do you not
Charles.
want to keep reading? Yeah, like, how is he walking? Why is he walking? Like, what's going on here?
What's
Like,
that dude doing walking?
It's because of Zorn.
Zorn did some shit.
Zorn. All right, I'm officially like retardedly high. So.
Yeah, you've been dummy low energy tonight, my guy. We're gonna wrap it.
I've been blazed.
Yeah, Blitzkrieg.
We're going to strap a car battery to Jake's nipples and wake him up.
This is what it felt like.
Reading this comic?
Nazis
Oh, that's so funny. But all right, guys, thanks for listening. You guys are a bunch of stinkers.
Yeah. If you want to listen to some of our other X-Men episodes, we talked about Old Man Logan and we talked about House of X, Powers of 10. You should go check those out.
Also, if you live in West Virginia, I got a comedy fest at the end of the month. Morgantown, West Virginia. We got Eddie Pepitone headlining. We got Sam Talent headlining. We got Brittany Carney headlining. We got Good Cop, Rad Cop headlining. So
Nice.
Nice. And what are the dates for that?
March 30th through April 1st.
Nice.
Ooh, hot dates.
Hot dates for hot dudes.
On that note, we'll see you next week.
Check us out.
Peace.
Hot dates for hot dudes. Hi, you're listening to Comics and Chronic, and I'm Jake FH.
I'm Cody Cannon.
And I'm Anthony Iannaccio.
And you can tune in every Thursday to hear new episodes of Comics and Chronic.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Comics N Chronic. That's comics, the letter N, Chronic.
We'll see you guys next week.
Woo!
Peace.